It was the first day at Ridgewood High when a quiet new girl named Maya stepped through the hallway doors, holding her books tightly against her chest. She had that calm confidence, the kind that made people curious, but to some, it made her an easy target. Within hours, the popular crowd noticed her. They whispered, laughed, and planned to welcome her in their own cruel way. At lunch, a group of bullies cornered Maya, knocking her books to the floor. The cafeteria fell silent. Everyone waited for her to cry or run away, but instead, she simply looked up at them with steady eyes. No fear, no anger, just calm silence. Something about her presence made even the loudest ones hesitate. Rumors started spreading fast. Who was this new girl? Why didn't she fight back or break down? Some said she had transferred from a private school after an incident. Others claimed she was hiding something. The bullies didn't care about stories, they just wanted to prove they ruled the school. What they didn't realize was that Maya wasn't the type to be pushed around. Behind that quiet face was someone far stronger than they could ever imagine. That as the days passed, the tension grew, and one moment changed everything. When the bullies decided to take things too far, Maya finally showed them exactly who she was, and it was the last time anyone at Ridgewood ever underestimated her again. After that strange cafeteria moment, everyone at Ridgewood High started paying more attention to Maya. She didn't talk much, but the way she carried herself, calm, focused, almost unshakable, made people curious. Teachers liked her because she was polite and always prepared, but the bullies saw her silence as arrogance. They couldn't stand how she never reacted, no matter what they did. It was as if their words just bounced off her. One of the bullies, Jenna, started digging into Maya's past. She asked around, checked old social media profiles, but found almost nothing. No photos, no posts, no trace of where she'd come from. That only made things stranger. Who was this girl who appeared out of nowhere? Why did she seem so composed when everyone else crumbled under pressure? Maya spent her free time in the library, sketching in a worn-out notebook. No one knew what she drew, but once someone saw a page filled with detailed portraits of people in uniform, military, maybe police. When asked about it, Maya just smiled and closed her book. Rumors kept growing. Some students whispered that her father was in the army. Others said she'd trained in self-defense, or that she'd once stopped a robbery. The bullies didn't believe any of it. To them, she was still just a quiet new girl who needed to be put in her place. But what they didn't realize was that Maya wasn't hiding from her past. She was preparing for what was coming next. Things started to shift when the bullies decided to take their taunts beyond words. One afternoon, during gym class, Maya was assigned to the same team as Jenna and her friends. The air felt heavy with unspoken tension. When the coach wasn't looking, they whispered, shoved her, and tried to make her miss every move. But Maya didn't snap. She played quietly, her movements sharp and calculated, as if she'd done this all before. Even when she stumbled, she got back up without a word, her eyes steady and unreadable. It was that calmness that got under their skin the most. After class, one of Jenna's friends, Tyler, saw Maya outside the school, talking to a man in a dark car. He couldn't hear what they were saying, but the man handed her a small envelope. The moment she noticed Tyler watching, she slipped it into her backpack and walked away. That night, the rumor mill exploded again. Some said Maya was involved in something secret. Others swore they'd seen the same car parked near the principal's office the next morning. Meanwhile, one student named Ethan, who'd been watching everything from the sidelines, started feeling bad. He'd seen what the bullies were doing and how Maya never fought back. He wanted to know her story. But when he finally tried to talk to her, she gave a small smile and said softly, "Some things are better left alone, Ethan." Her words sent a chill through him. Whatever Maya was hiding, it wasn't something ordinary. By the next week, the tension at Ridgewood High had reached its peak. The bullies were determined to break Maya's calm once and for all. They planned to corner her after school, away from teachers and cameras, to finally teach her a lesson. Everyone seemed to sense something was coming, even if no one said it out loud. Ethan noticed the whispers, the smirks, and the strange quiet that followed whenever Maya walked by. But when he tried to warn her, she just said in that same steady voice, "Let them come." That afternoon, dark clouds rolled in, over the schoolyard. Maya walked home alone, as the wind picked up, her backpack slung over one shoulder. Behind her, footsteps echoed, first a few, then several more. Jenna and her group followed, their laughter sharp against the storm's hum. "Still not talking, new girl?" Jenna called out. Maya turned slightly, her face calm but her eyes colder than they'd ever seen. Then, something unexpected happened. The black car from before pulled up near the gate. The same man stepped out, his expression serious. He looked at Maya, then at the bullies, and for a moment, everything froze. The air grew heavier, the silence thick. Maya finally spoke, her voice low but firm. "I told you this wasn't your fight." The bullies exchanged nervous glances, realizing too late that the new girl they thought was helpless had been hiding something far more powerful than they ever imagined. The bullies froze as the man stepped closer, his gaze sharp but unreadable. Maya didn't move, just stood there watching him, her jaw tight. Jenna whispered, "Who is he?" But no one answered. The man looked directly at Maya and said quietly, "They followed you again. You knew this would happen." His words sent confusion through the group. "Followed her?" What did that mean? Maya finally turned toward the bullies, her calm completely gone. You shouldn't have come here, she said softly. Her tone wasn't angry, it was warning. The sky rumbled as thunder cracked, echoing through the empty street. The man reached into his coat and handed Maya a small badge. It looked official, shining briefly under the streetlight before she closed her hand around it. Ethan, who had been watching from a distance, felt his heart pound. A badge. What kind of badge was that? He'd thought Maya was just another student, but now it looked like she was part of something far bigger. The bullies began backing away, suddenly unsure if they had gone too far before anyone could speak. Another car appeared at the corner, sleek, black, and tinted. Two people stepped out, wearing dark suits. They called Maya by a name no one recognized. She froze, and even the man beside her looked surprised. Whatever secret Maya had been keeping wasn't just hers anymore. The air grew tense as everyone realized this wasn't just about high school anymore. Something much deeper was unfolding. The moment the two agents stepped closer, everyone went silent. Even the rain seemed to pause. Maya's grip tightened around the badge as one of the agents spoke firmly. Agent Rivera, we've been trying to reach you. You weren't supposed to make contact. The bullies' faces drained of color. Agent Ethan's mind raced, struggling to process what he was hearing. The quiet new girl who never fought back, she wasn't just some ordinary student. Maya took a step forward, her voice calm but heavy with truth. I didn't want this to reach the school, but they pushed too far. She looked at Jenna and the others, not with anger but with pity. You thought I was hiding from you, but I was hiding you from something else. The agents exchanged uneasy glances before one of them handed her a phone. On the screen was a message: her cover had been compromised. The man from the car wasn't just a family friend. He was her handler, keeping her identity safe until her mission ended. Ethan stared, stunned, as the realization hit him. Maya had been undercover, protecting the students from someone far more dangerous than the bullies themselves. Then, before anyone could ask more, Maya looked at him and whispered, "You were right to care." Moments later, the agents guided her toward the car. As the door closed, she gave one last look back at Ridgewood High, her secret finally revealed. But just before the car drove away, Ethan's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Keep watch. It's not over. Days passed after Maya's sudden disappearance, but Ridgewood High didn't feel the same. The hallways were quieter, the usual gossip replaced by curious whispers. No one dared to bully anyone anymore, not after what happened. Jenna and her friends kept to themselves, clearly shaken. For the first time, they seemed to understand what their cruelty had almost cost them. Ethan, meanwhile, couldn't stop thinking about Maya's last words or that strange message on his phone. Keep watch. It's not over. He didn't know what it meant, but something told him that Maya had trusted him for a reason. One afternoon, as he was leaving school, Ethan noticed a small package in his locker. Inside was Maya's sketchbook. On the last page, she had drawn the Ridgewood courtyard with the words, **, strength isn't loud, it's steady." There was also a note, **, you'll know when to stand up, even when it's hard." Ethan smiled faintly, realizing that Maya hadn't just changed, the school she'd changed him too. Over time, people started treating each other differently. The same students who once laughed at others now stood up against bullying. Maya's name became a quiet reminder that you never really know what someone's been through, or who they truly are. And though she never returned, every now and then, Ethan would notice a black car parked near the edge of the field, engine running. He didn't need to see who was inside. He already knew. Maya was still watching, still protecting, in her own silent way.